starting us up on Rumble. And good afternoon, hello, welcome to Weird Weekly Recap AKA WWR. This show is a dive into the weird, obscure, odd, bizarre, in other words for strange, world of notable events, weather, and sports. I am A.O. Xander, and of course, you viewer, today is, what is today? Freya's Day, aka Friday, November 15th, 2024. What do we got for the news of this past week? Well, we have, from Audio Central here, 4 people arrested for using a bear suit to fake bear attacks on their vehicles and claim insurance. What? Oh, of course, it's LA. 4 Los Angeles area residents were recently arrested and charged with insurance fraud after allegedly using a bear suit to make it seem like their luxury vehicles had been damaged by a wild animal. Operation Bear Claw, as an ingenious, not indigenous, well, I guess indigenous here, insurance fraud scheme was subbed by Californian authorities, began in January of this year when the 4 suspects claimed that a bear had entered their 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost while it was parked in Lake Arrowhead and caused extensive interior damage. The area is located in San Bernardino, a region famous for its large black bear population, but the video footage supplied to the insurer by the suspects themselves was more than a little shady. It showed a furry animal entering a backseat of the Rolls-Royce and scratching it, but something didn't add up. For one, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife said that the only bears in the state are black bears, and this was light brown, but its movements weren't very bear-like either. And look at that, they have some kind of massive scratcher and all that stuff, and here's a video.
Surveillance
right
video shows what looks like a
this.
bear breaking into a Rolls Royce and tearing up the interior. But after closer inspection, investigators determined it was nothing more than a man in a bear suit. Now 4 men
if
are
that was a
under
real
arrest.
bear, those seats would be falling down. Bears weigh in excess of 500 pounds, if not more, and those seats would not be sitting there, not getting bent, not getting disturbed. That's clearly a human, and it's way too scrawny, You'd think somebody who can afford a Rolls Royce wouldn't stoop to this level, but, with the way the world has been going today, crime does indeed pay. So, but this is absolutely nuts. Moving on up, robot manufacturer has 12 robots kidnapped from showroom by another robot. What? Says viral footage captured by CCTV cameras at a robotics company. The showroom shows 12 large robots being kidnapped by another manufacturer's robot that convinced them to quit their jobs and follow it. Wow. For the past week, Chinese social media has been abuzz about a bizarre incident that reportedly occurred back in August at a robotics company showroom in Shanghai, but was only made public recently. Footage captured by the venue's surveillance cameras shows that a small robot making its way into the showroom at night and slowly rolling over to a bunch of larger robots before engaging in a dialogue with them. After asking them if they're working overtime, the little robot managed to somehow persuade 2 of the other robots to come home with it, and then the remaining 10 robots followed them. In the beginning, the video was deemed staged and amusing by most viewers, but then the Shanghai's robotics company came out and admitted that its robots had indeed been kidnapped by a robot created by another manufacturer. Oh my god. So now these robots are going around and taking each other. Beep boop beep, are you working overtime? The small robot asked the large robots. I never get off work, one of the other robots replied. So you're not going home? I don't have a home. Then come home with me. This is absolutely insane. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Golden Moon here.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if you heard me going off about this. You'd already missed the first story. Somebody had dressed in a bear costume and was tearing up the interior of their Rolls Royce in an insurance scam to try to claim it or something.
Yeah, okay.
In California, of course, out here in LA, this happened. San Bernardino, but
what's with the robots?
The robots apparently. I'll just read this. Viral footage captured by CCTV cameras at a robotics company showroom shows 12 large robots being kidnapped by another manufacturer's robot that convinced them to quit their jobs and follow it. But this, I'm not sure if any of this was programmed or if one robot legit went to these other robots and they're like, hey, come work for us over here.
Well, it's in China, so you never know what the truth is.
Yeah, that's very true. It is China. No, but isn't that wild, though?
Yeah.
Robots are kidnapping other robots.
Yeah, that's weird.
Good lord. Researchers develop a way to detect spoiled milk with a smartphone.
Huh.
you know, like, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but, I mean, I can detect, you know, spoiled milk, no problem, you know? Like,
Yeah, open
pop
it
the
up.
cap, sniff, okay.
Good
like,
to go.
Australian scientists at the University of New South Wales, UNSW, has developed a method of accurately checking if milk has gone bad by using the vibration motor inside every smartphone. What? The modern smartphone has been a jack of all trades for a while now, but the ubiquitous gadget is getting new functionalities virtually every day. One of the most ingenious ways you'll probably be able to use your handheld in the near future is to test if the milk has gone bad, either in the comfort of your own kitchen or at the store, without even having to open the container. Well, this is what expiry dates are for. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
if you
yeah.
buy milk and
It
it's
just
spoiled,
seems like a waste of time.
you can literally go back to the store
Right
with
there.
your receipts.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is all nice, you know, fancy and all, but why? You know,
Total
like
waste.
to quote Jurassic Park, your scientists were so preoccupied whether or not they could, they didn't stop and think whether or not they should. You know.
Yeah.
So let's see here. One of the most ingenious ways you'll probably be able to use your handheld. Okay, milk has gone bad. Yada yada yada. Researchers at the UNSW Computer Science and Engineering recently developed this new smartphone sensor called VibMilk that relies on the gadget's vibration motor and internal measurement unit (IMU) to check the freshness of milk without having to open the container. The high-tech method could one day curb the current waste of 20% of dairy products. Well, no, it won't. If anything, it'll probably cause even more waste because it's going to misread things and fresh milk is going to be thrown away. So, this is stupid.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds cool, but it's just outright stupid. So,
Yeah, there's really not any point to it.
yeah. Let me move this mic closer to you so I can hear you a little bit better.
And like you say, it's not going to save or do anything with it. Either milk's spoiled or it's not, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to save anything.
No.
Maybe save the consumer from taking it home, but that's, you know, pretty minimal. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And you can immediately bring it back,
Yeah.
like you said.
More from Audio Central here. Artist spends a year cutting world's longest strip of paper from a single A4 sheet. So it sounds like, you know, he's
A4.
it's just a type of paper, I guess.
Oh.
Like, Chinese origami artist Pai Haozhang spent a whole year painstakingly cutting an A4 sheet of paper into a 108-meter long strip to set a unique world record. Okay, well, you know, now David Rush, you know, has another record to go for. Pai, also known as Holtz Pai, is no stranger to Guinness World of Records. He once folded the most origami flowers made from a single sheet of paper, 100, and then created the largest origami snail ever. But this year he embarked on the most challenging record attempt yet, cutting the longest strip of paper from a single A4 sheet. Technically, it should have been a walk in the park for this master of paper art, as the length to beat was a modest 2.5 meters, but he challenged himself to cut the longest strip possible, so he spent about a year experimenting with different types of paper, cutting techniques, and instruments. In the end, he managed to cut a thin, continuous strip 108.15 meters in length.
Wow.
Look at that. So that's the A4 sheet.
Yeah.
And look at how thin. But he's there with a scissor. But instead of going all the way through, you know, then you turn and then you go
Yeah.
and then you turn and it's just continuous.
Yeah.
That's cool and all, but why? Do you not have anything better to do with your life? You know, like.
Guinness. You want to be Guinness.
All right. Well, I guess I'm aiming for Guinness to be
Look at that.
to be the
That's
news.
a good shot right there.
Yeah, to be the news show with the most bizarre articles.
There you go.
know?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But look at that. That's cool, but it's also crazy, and why? You know? So, anyway, woman spends 27 years tracking down brother's killer, chats with him online for 3 years to confirm his identity. Wow, you know, hell hath no fury than a woman scorned, you know? 47-year-old Chinese woman who spent most of her life searching for her young brother's cruel killer recently reached her goal, putting her target in prison after nearly 3 decades. And he's probably already out by now, knowing China. Li Heiyu's heartbreaking tale of revenge began in December of 1992, when the woman's father and another man started arguing about wages. Things got so heated between them, at one point the other man decided to get back at Heiyu's father by kidnapping his 9-year-old son, Li Huanping, as he left school. Police were called, and a search for the boy and his kidnapper was organized in the area around their village in Hunan province. Li Huanping's clothes were found on the outskirts of a nearby village, but his body was only found in February the following year, by which time the kidnapper had disappeared. The police report concluded that he had been stabbed and abandoned in a sugarcane field, but his father didn't tell his wife and $5 the truth until his dying day, letting them hold on to the hope of one day being reunited with Li Yuanping. That's not good. You know, it's... They're going to learn anyway. You're just holding it back, and then, you know... It's crushing. It's crushing.
As crushing as that is, you gotta tell the family. You just can't.
You do, because all you're doing is kicking the stone down the road.
False hope.
Yes, false hope and kicking the stone down the road, because they're going to find out eventually. And then now, on top of their father dying, now they learn that their brother's been dead the whole time. Yeah. Way to kick a person while they're down.
No,
you know,
that's
stupid.
Horrible. That's almost as bad as the story itself.
Yeah.
Not as bad, not anywhere close to
bad,
really.
But still, you know, not good.
Why do you do that to your family?
Well, he thought he was doing something good,
yeah.
But that, you know, oh, I had good intentions. Yeah, well, the path to hell is paved on good intentions. So, you know, tell the truth. According to the Zhejiang Morning News, Li Haiyu started searching for her younger brother in 1997. She knew he had been abducted and traveled to the provinces of Yunnan, Sichuan, Guizhou, and Guangxi to find him. So right there, she's spending all this money.
Dead.
Yeah, so you're wasting your daughter's life. Just tell the truth. She was cheated by people looking to take advantage of her. Okay, so, dude, this guy's just ruining his daughter's life. So, yeah. So anyway, as the title suggests, she did eventually find him. This is pissing me off. So I gotta continue on.
Yeah.
Chinese influencer eats pig feet in extreme attempt to save money.
Oh, God.
Stupid. Well, food that you give to a pig. So. Popular Douyin streamer Kong Yufeng recently sparked controversy in China by eating pig feed on camera as part of a challenge to live on the cheapest food she can find. Saying on October 30th, Kong Yufeng, aka King Kong Luiki, posted a controversial video on Douyin, China's version of TikTok, in which she announced a self-imposed challenge to live on the cheapest food she could find at least for a week. The popular streamer told her fans that she had browsed Zhihu, a Chinese forum known for sharing budget-friendly tips, and found pig feed to be the best option. A large bag of pig feed, not feet, but feed, food, pig feed. She's not eating pig feet.
No.
You know, like, a large bag of pig feed costs only 100 yuan or whatever, or $14 US. And was allegedly high in protein, low in fat, and healthier than takeaway food. So she decided to try it in front of her fans. According to Kong, the pig feed contained natural ingredients like soybeans, peanuts, sesame, corn, and added vitamins, but the taste was an acquired one. Gee, I wonder why. This is so stupid. Absolutely stupid.
I don't know if I've ever told you the story of your grandfather when he was a kid.
Smells like bread and butter?
No. He was a kid up in the prairies of Canada, and his family had come from Scotland.
And didn't they own a grocery store?
Well, that was in Canada.
Okay.
No. Anyway, so in Scotland, buttermilk was a staple.
Oh yeah.
Rich in all kinds of stuff.
So is haggis.
They came to Canada, and buttermilk they fed to the hogs. So Granddad's job was to go to the different farmers, and they give them all the buttermilk they wanted.
Smart.
Yeah, well,
smart.
They didn't, they at that time in Canada, humans weren't consuming buttermilk.
Yeah. Like, I know I've tried a couple more times, throughout the years, but I want to try buttermilk again. Like, I remember I used to like it.
Yeah.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's very
I used to like it as a kid, but, I tried it one time a long time ago. Like,
the key to it is
you got to add a little bit of salt.
Pinch of salt.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah, salt with milk does not sound good, but Buttermilk.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah. I mean, moving on up, iPhone stuck under ice becomes ice skate rink attraction. And that's our thumbnail today right here.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
It says here, a seasonal ice skating rink in Milton Keynes, England has been getting a lot of attention because of a bright pink iPhone stuck under 2 inches of ice. Skaters at the Woden on ice skating rink in Milton Keynes will sometimes stop in the middle of the giant ice rink to stare at something under the ice, a bright pink iPhone. It has become a sort of tourist attraction after the BBC and UK and other UK media outlets reported about it online. Apparently, one of the workmen setting up the rink this past year lost their smartphone and had to borrow their daughter's iPhone for a day, only to forget it in the middle of the ice rink right before it was flooded with water and frozen overnight. The next day, some of his coworkers spotted it while inspecting the ice, but they could do nothing but laugh at his misfortune, as damaging the ice was out of the question. All right, so this guy, he lost his phone, and then he lost his daughter's phone. No more phones. You're done. You're done. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
you are definitely
I
done.
bet his daughter was mad.
Oh.
Like, but hey, you know, now she's probably getting her 5 minutes of fame. But oh yeah, so I guess that's like a recreation. Like you just left the phone there, and then it got flooded and all that stuff.
Or maybe it's after they drained it after the season or something.
Maybe. So I'm sure that phone's non-operational anymore, though.
It's not gonna be good.
Well, I mean, it was flooded with water,
Yeah.
and then it was frozen. So I'm pretty sure all the components in there are FUBAR. So
Could be.
because you know, water expands when it's frozen, so it's
Yeah.
gonna, you know, destroy that thing.
Good.
More from Audi Central. Mother installs jail cell in her house to protect herself from addict son.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yikes.
You get to that point, why aren't the police involved? You know, like,
Yeah, have them removed from the house.
an elderly Thai woman desperate to keep her drug and gambling addicted son away from temptation installed an iron jail cell inside of her home. Okay.
Trying to keep them away from drugs.
Trying to keep him in. Well, but then, you know, get the police involved. You know? After more than 20 years of living in constant fear of her drug-addicted son, a 64-year-old woman from Thailand's Buriram province took extraordinary measures to protect herself and her neighbors. She recently had contractors build a jail cell inside her home where she could confine the 42-year-old man when he became violent. Okay, so it's going back to the original. He is a threat to her.
Yeah.
Got to get him out of there.
Yeah.
She told police that she had tried everything to save her son over the years, including several rehabilitation attempts in over 10 different centers across the country, but nothing worked, and he became increasingly violent as time went by. To make matters worse, at one point the son became addicted to gambling as well, which only made things worse. You know, so this is appalling.
Yeah.
What's the point of having police if people have to build jail cells in their own damn home? You know?
At some point, it's easy to say, but love can't trump all, and you have to recognize it when, you know, you're a threat or whatever, and you just have to take matters and as much as you love a son or a daughter or whatever it is.
But let the
you
police
just gotta
handle
say,
it.
get them out of here.
Yes.
Enough's enough.
Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. So, anyway, junk food diet causes 12-year-old boy to go permanently blind. Oh, man. Yeah, bad parents, you know. A 12-year-old Massachusetts boy has tragically lost his eyesight due to a nutrient-poor junk food diet that causes optic nerves to atrophy beyond any hope of reversal.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh,
Bad
man.
parents.
How
Bad
bad
parents.
is that diet?
Bad parents. The New England Journal of Medicine recently documented the case of a 12-year-old boy suffering from autism who ultimately went blind because of a junk food diet based mostly of burgers, fries, ranch dressing, donuts, and boxes of sugary juice. The boy has been diagnosed with autism and suffered from an extreme phobia of certain food textures, so its parents found it impossible to introduce viral nutrients, or vital nutrients to his diet. IV? You know? Like, you
Again, you gotta have doctors and police or whatever is involved. You have to get other outside help. You need outside help. If it goes that far where your son ends up blind, jeez.
Earlier this year, the unnamed boy began experiencing vision problems in the hours of the morning and in the evening, but his eyesight was fairly normal during the day. However, his vision started degrading at a rapid pace, and within 6 weeks' time, he could only move around if his parents helped him navigate obstacles. And one night, he woke up screaming that he couldn't see. Oh, man. Well, you know,
That's just heartbreaking.
for however much that sucks for that kid, all I can do is just, you know, like, point at the parents and say that's what you deserve. Now you have to know that you're having
That's what
another.
The kid doesn't deserve.
The kid doesn't deserve it. The parents deserve the sadness, but the kid does not. You know, because the parents are awful to allow them.
Well, what's missing? Veggies and stuff? I don't know.
Well, he has autism and he had a phobia of certain food textures. Too bad, so sad. Eat your broccoli or go to bed hungry. Simple as that. Hard nose it. Stop, you know, enabling these freaking weak generations.
Or
You know,
at very least, you know, blend it, put it in a blender or something, and make a drink. Something.
Yeah. What was it that you did when I was afraid of eating
yeah.
solid food?
Yeah, no. I made a whole concoction with eggs and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Basically, quick story. But when I was way younger, I choked on what was it like
Piece of toast.
a piece of toast. Yeah, and
kind of scratched your throat going down.
yeah, and I didn't eat solid food for several months. And
Something like that. It was quite a while. Yeah.
And during that, like, I only had like liquid stuff and all that stuff. And as you said, you cracked an egg, in my carnation breakfast and all that stuff. Like do
Make sure
that.
You add nutrients.
You are a good parent. That's what makes them good. Moving on up, baby born near ticket counter at Florida airport. Wow, I guess somebody couldn't hold it in. A woman's travel plans were put on hold when she went into labor during a layover at Miami International Airport in Florida. Oh, great. That's just what that kid needs, to be born in Florida. No offense to Jacob Peets out there.
What's the matter with Florida?
It's Florida. Miami-Dade fire rescue personnel responded to the airport just after 5 p.m. Tuesday after a passenger's water broke and she started giving birth near checkpoint 1 in the hub's pre-security area. I tell you what, if I was the next person in line, I'd be like, hey, get out of line,
Get out of line.
Go give birth over there. Get out of line, as John Panette used to say. Firefighters, Miami-Dade Police Department officers, U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents, as well as Miami-Dade Airport Division staff helped the woman give birth before the ambulance arrived to take the mom and newborn to a local hospital. An airport employee said the woman was between flights and awaiting a plane that would have taken her to another state when her water broke. So, and that's the end of the story. So, that's interesting. So, now that kid's born in Florida. All right.
I'll tell you the one thing that blew my mind when I was in Florida.
Oh, the ocean?
Driving up the street to the beach, and I'm looking up. I'm lower than the beach line.
Oh,
Holy crap.
That's not good.
No, I wasn't ready for that.
No. Moving on up to UPI, 98-year-old Rhode Island man gets high school diploma. We were talking about this the other day. It's not that often that people go to college outside of college years, the 20s to 30s. Yeah. But every now and then,
Someone does it.
Yeah. So
that was a high school diploma, it said.
Right? Oh yeah, high school. Okay, yeah. Well, the 98-year-old World War II veteran was presented with a diploma from a Rhode Island high school in a special ceremony. All right.
Kudos.
Anthony Simone, after a lifelong Rhode Islander, dropped out of high school at the age of 16 to help support his family and enlisted in the U.S. Army to fight in World War II at the age of 17. Simone, who fought in the Battle of the Bulge, earned his GED after arriving back in the United States after the war, but he has now gotten an official high school diploma courtesy of Cranston High School East. Well,
hey, way
kudos.
to go, Cranston High School East.
Yes, and
way to go.
I have a feeling that this is Pete's over here, like talking shit back to me about talking shit about Florida. Oh, it's not. Yo, hey King, how you doing, man? Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we got? Moving on up. Maryland man collects $150,000 Powerball prize, his third big lottery win.
Wow.
And this is
Are
why.
you kidding me?
This is why I think the lottery is fixed. It doesn't seem like it can be, but third big lottery win. Okay.
Well, that's not big compared to that's not the grand lottery, but 150,000 is a big win.
Yeah.
Huge win.
Yeah. Charles County man told Maryland lottery officials he visits the NSR Mart/Corner Express store on Leonardtown Road in Hughesville about 3 times a week to buy Powerball and Mega Millions tickets. Wow. That's $6 a week.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, either he's lucky or something's going on and he knows he's going to win. I don't know. That's ridiculous. 3? That's too much.
I don't think he knows he's going to win.
Well, you have a higher chance of getting struck by lightning from a cow necromancer in the middle of the ocean than you do winning the lottery, and he's won it 3 times. Something's weird.
He hasn't won the grand prize 3 times. 150,000 is not the grand prize.
It's not the grand prize, but it's still a win.
Of course.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, of course.
They don't throw 150 grand
that's a
out.
long odds, but it's not as long as the grand prize.
I see King is messing with AI art and such. So, moving on up. Nigerian man's 10,814.5 square foot drawing is the world's largest. All right. Oh, wow.
The world's largest
drawing.
What?
Just drawing.
Any drawing.
Drawing,
okay.
period. Now, you can't really tell that well, but those are people.
Oh, yeah, and once you scroll down.
Yeah, those are people down there.
Jeez.
That is enormous.
How do you draw that to scale?
I don't think he's drawing it to scale, but
That's what blows me. Is these European churches you go to doing all this artwork on the ceiling. How they're up there in the ceiling under candlelight.
yeah.
How do they get all that to scale? And I don't know how they did that.
Well,
It's
you know,
unbelievable.
patience, perseverance, and
Yeah,
you
but
know,
to perceive it and to scale, and the eyeball goes here, not 4 feet over.
well, you know, because back then people actually had to work. You know, like these days everything is so easy and handed to you. The actual concept of real actual labor is, incomprehensible. And so, a Nigerian doctor with a passion for art broke a Guinness World Record with a 10,814.5 square foot drawing celebrating the cultures of his country. And that looks like Nigeria. I think he drew his home country. So, I don't know what.
I don't know what Nigeria looks like, to tell you the truth. Geographically.
Well, you know what? Let me bring up Ecosia, the Nigeria map. So let's see here. Images. Okay, yeah, it is Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Flo David Tolerem, at the age of 31, created his drawing titled The Unity of Diversity using waterproof markers on a massive canvas at a 5,000-seat stadium over the course of several days. Oh, yeah, because nothing is as diverse as Nigeria. Yeah, it's so diverse. The new world's largest drawing by an individual depicts a giant map of Nigeria bearing images of the various peoples and cultural iconography of the country's regions.
Okay.
All right. That's pretty cool. Moving on up.
It is.
Florida Museum attempting paper rocket world record. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
So,
It's made out of paper.
yeah,
right?
well, that's the word paper rocket.
Yeah.
The Orlando Science Center announced the attempt will take place Sunday in the facility's Dr. Philip Syndome, and officials are hoping to gather at least 250 participants to set the record. So I think they're just making a massive amount or something. Quote, for the purposes of the record, a paper rocket is defined as a toy made entirely of paper that fits onto a straw, and when the straw is blown through, the rocket flies into the air, end quote.
Okay.
Members of the public hoping to participate in the record attempt are being encouraged to arrive by 10 in the morning Saturday, as seating is limited to 300 people and registration will be on a first-come, first-served basis. So I think that they're all making rockets and trying to launch the rockets.
That's what it sounds like.
God, they have a record for freaking everything. It's ridiculous. Ontario, Canada, man, bench presses his own weight to break world record. We have a lot of records going on today. And Kajhiager Farzam, who previously broke the Guinness World Record for bench pressing the most weight in 30 seconds, attempted to break a second record at Little's Gym in Kitchener. Quote, I weighed in at 201.8 pounds, and the mark to beat was 38 reps. I did 44 reps a day, end quote. Evidence from his attempt is now being submitted to Guinness World Records to see if he has officially broken a second record. I think he has.
Sounds
You
like
know?
it.
So,
As long as they're full on,
full,
reps.
reps.
Yeah, he didn't cut them short.
None of these how there's real push-ups,
Yeah,
and then there's like women push-ups on the knees. So. Moving on up, news story spares $1 million Powerball ticket from the trash can. Whoa, what's going on here? A player told Missouri lottery officials he bought his ticket for the October 26th drawing at Fastlane on Highway 6 in Taylor, but he forgot to check the ticket after the drawing. The man said he was scrolling on his phone days later when he came across a news story about a $1 million Powerball ticket sold at Fastlane, and it reminded him that he hadn't checked his ticket. The ticket matched all 5 white balls drawn on the October 26th drawing. The man's wife initially didn't believe he had won the $1 million prize. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't either. If I was staring at it in the face, I'd be like, what kind of BS,
So he got the 5 numbers, but not the whatever they call the Super Bowl or whatever.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
The Powerball.
Powerball, yeah.
But he.
So it's a $1 million win.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he got the $1 million. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Moving on up, moose wanders into company's garage, tramples BMWs.
Oh,
Okay, this time an animal attacking a car is true, as opposed to the whole story about the guy in the bear costume, which we will be talking about again because I have it covered by another source here. So, it says here, Victor Ortega, company director at Schienemann, a BMW specialist, was putting his boat into storage at the company's garage in the outskirts of Gothenburg when he heard loud noises. Loud noises! Ortingen investigated the commotion and discovered a moose, also known as an elk in Sweden. He wandered into the garage and was climbing all over a trio of parked BMW cars, including a restored BMW 850i. That sounds expensive.
Oh, man.
No humans or animals were injured during the moose's visit, and the massive beast fled the garage of its own accord after causing about $20,000 worth of damage. Well, this is why you close the door.
Huge.
Yes. So. Ay. Missouri thrift store seeking to solve mystery of World War II love letters. And I really hope they solve this. This is, things like this.
Yeah.
I really hope gets solved. So, Tina Eifert, manager of the Salvation Army Family Store in Hannibal, was sorting through donations when she found a pile of letters sent by Chester McMean to his wife, Alma Bernice Moslin, while he was stationed in the Philippines during World War II. She said there was no way to trace whose donation or who donated the letters, which were dated from between September 11th, 1944 and November 27th, 1945 had come from. Eifert teamed up with Megan Duncan, a local investigative journalist, to solve this mystery. Duncan discovered McMean and Magdalene had reunited after the war to raise 3 children and run a woodworking business in Carbondale, Illinois. Well, if you can find out that amount of information, why can't you find where they are? You know?
Chances are they're not alive.
Well,
but
no,
kids
but
sure would be.
the 3 kids, one of them has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything being so connected in today's world, it's ridiculous. So I hope they find him.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that kind of information they sure should.
Yeah.
I mean, they know a lot about them.
Coyote rescued from plastic jug stuck over its head in Illinois. And see, this, things like this, like a lot of people, they view this, oh, what a feel-good story. They saved the pupper. Whoop-de-doo. No. You're teaching dependency. You're teaching it's okay to get your head stuck because good old human will come by and rescue you. Well, what if good old human doesn't come by? Now you're dead. You're dooming animals, towards potential extinction. Leave nature alone. If you see an animal, having trouble, it won't save you. So don't save it. Let nature take its course. If it's that dumb, don't let it breed. Simple. Moving on up, National Toy Hill of Fame inducted My Little Pony, Transformers, and Phase 10. Or I guess this is Phase 10 of inducting things or something. So, and these are the classic My Little Ponies, not the Friendship is Magic crap that we have these days, but the original 70s, 80s, whatever.
What My Little Ponies are.
It's some stupid little girls cartoon from the day.
Cartooner and stuffed animals.
And Phase 10. So I don't know what Phase 10 is. So
Transformers, I know.
Yeah. The National Toy Hall of Fame, part of the Strong National Museum of Play, announced the inductees chosen from a list of finalists that also included Apples to Apples. Hey, I love that game. Balloons, Choose Your Own Adventure books, Hess Toy Trucks, the Pokemon trading card game, remote-controlled vehicles, Sequence, the Stick Horse, and the Trampoline. Well, they should all be in there.
Yeah.
So, My Little Pony, Transformers in Phase 10 were chosen by a combination of players' choice ballots submitted by members of the public and the top picks of the National Selection Advisory Committee. But what's Phase 10? Hold on a second. Let me look this up here really quick. Phase 10 toys. Let's see. Phase 10. I've never heard of Phase 10. Okay, so it's a game.
Card game.
It's some kind of game.
Yeah, some kind of game.
This is Twist. But it looks like Uno. Huh. That's weird. Oh, wow. From the makers of Uno. So that's why it looks like Uno. It's made by the same people.
Yeah, good call.
All right.
Different game, same people.
Yeah. Moving on up, they told insurers a bear damaged their car, but it was actually a person in a costume. So here's a better actual photo of this thing. And look, they have those scratchers.
Yeah.
And they went into a Rolls Royce. So I'll reread this just for posterity. 4 residents from the Los Angeles area were arrested this week after an investigation by the California Department of Insurance revealed that they allegedly used a life-size bear costume to stage attacks on their vehicles in an attempt to secure a 6-figure payout. If you have enough money to buy a Rolls Royce, you'd think that you wouldn't be doing something as ghetto as this. But then again, it's probably a rapper or something doing this. So, the suspects, Ruben Tamrazian, 26, Ararat Shirkinian, 39, Vahi Muradhadikanyan, 32, and Althea Zuckerman, 39, have been charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy, according to an announcement made by the department on Wednesday. Their alleged scam costed 3 insurance companies a total of $141,839. And I hope to God that they pay through all of the nose with interest and spend a long time in jail on their own dime, not taxpayers. You have enough money to buy a Rolls Royce and pull this crap, you have enough money to afford your own punishment.
And yet they weren't smart enough to get away with it.
Well, yeah. Stupid. And last but not least, man arrested in the United Kingdom cheese heist where imposters stole $389,000 worth of cheddar. That's a lot of cheddar. And
what are you going to do with all that cheese?
And so you see, it's really interesting. We're talking about, like the financial equation of cheese, and cheese is also a slang term for money. So
another slang, cut the cheese.
Well, that's just farting. Authorities in London have arrested a 63-year-old man in connection with the cheese heist of 2024, in which tens of thousands of pounds of high-value cheddar were stolen from a major distributor. I thought I heard about something beforehand about somebody stealing a bunch of cheese. London-based retailer and cheesemaker Neil's Yard Dairy. They stole from somebody named Neil. What the hell? The Senate learned on Wednesday that a suspect was in custody. The Metropolitan Police confirmed to NPR that a man was detained on suspicion of fraud by false representation and handling stolen goods. Over the past week, the British artisanal cheese community has been reeling after Neil's Yard Dairy announced it had been the victim of a sophisticated fraud resulting in the loss of over 300,000 pounds worth of cloth-bound cheddar, the equivalent of over $389,000 US. Wow.
Jeez.
Grand theft cheese. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth in that order, but yeah, here we are.
They catch them when they go to resell and distribute it.
Yeah.
On that kind of volume, you're going to make some noise,
Yeah, well, if you're stupid and you try to, get rid of it all at once, Anyway, that shall conclude the show today. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of different, odd, and unusual news, aka notable events, weather, and sports, we stream every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, video memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between on Talk Show. Please check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loom.
And we had good old King's Refuge in here, and I wanted to... Relish, legendary Lee. Oh wait, no. Yeah, Relish, legendary Lee Kennedy. I don't know what he's talking about, but hi, Relish. That's a new guy here. And of course, UVRU. Thanks so much for watching, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look, right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles. All right.